This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the Samsung Galaxy Book 5 Pro 360. That's a mouthful, isn't it? The latest entry in Samsung's line of now AMOLED display convertible laptops. Obviously 16 inches. This is a large laptop, but it's pretty light, 3.73 pounds, which is 1.69 kilograms. So it's just really easy to carry around. We're going to look at it now. This video is sponsored by Best Buy. So this is the late 2024 edition with the second series of the Intel Core Ultra CPU, or you can call it second generation. And it features not really, as we've said in some other reviews, increased performance, but increased battery life. And you're getting a little bit better performance than the previous gen with way fewer cores. So it's the efficiency answer right here. So that's not a bad thing. Also, RAM is soldered on board in this platform. This is becoming pervasive across various brands now of CPUs. The model that we have has 32 gigs of RAM, but the model that you'll find in stores typically has 16 gigs. That is soldered on board. And it has one of the fastest M.2 1 terabyte SSDs I've seen in PC platforms lately among laptops, which is nice because lately they've been slipping a little in performance. That's good. And now a shout out to our sponsor, Best Buy, who is, well, sponsoring this video, so you can find about how they and Surface bring you the most exceptional Copilot Plus PC for the holiday season. So let's talk about the Surface Pro Copilot Plus PC 6582829. That happens to be the SKU that we're talking about here. This is a very versatile device. Whether it's going to be your primary device or complementing a more powerful PC, that's up to you. It could be your primary device, certainly. As Qualcomm Snapdragon inside, and it's both a tablet with a 13-inch display and OLED option available, and it can convert into a laptop with the optional keyboard, and then there's an optional pen as well. So it's great for note-taking, for those of you who are budding artists, that sort of thing. And it's useful for other things. We have Co-Creator Plus now in Microsoft Paint, so the AI features in the Copilot Plus part of the PC. So yeah, I mean, I know some of you think, oh, AI is just a gimmick, but it can enhance your creativity now. So for example, say you're not the most gifted artist. A lot of people really aren't, right? You can start with a drawing if you want and then have it help you out, but even better, you can use text prompts. So you can do things like say, I want a landscape painting that's on an alien green world, and I want it to be predominantly blue-green. And you give it these prompts, right? And you can see how it's going along. And then if you wish, you can use the big brush that's better for easy strokes to start filling in the canvas, then move to smaller brush and maybe correct some of the things yourself. Even if you're not the most gifted artist, or maybe you are, and you just want to speed up content creation, that's an option. Then there's another of my favorites, which is live captions. You can turn that on in settings, and that works in any app. Whether you're streaming YouTube in a browser or using any app of your choice, or just talking to it. Maybe you're having a conversation in a room, a business meeting, or International Student Union, whatever it is, right? So I'm going to demo it speaking French and German so you can see how it does with Live Translate with the actual spoken voice. Bonjour, comment ça va? Je m'appelle Lisa. Now I'm going to speak in German. Wer allein ist, wird lang so bleiben. Wird Wochen lesen und langer Brief schreiben. So that's not bad, right? So you go from just thinking, wow, I can't even participate in this Zoom call with the international team or something like that, to suddenly being, well, this is actually, I know what everybody's saying. This is pretty useful, right? So it's helpful. And also, for those of you who are a bit hard of hearing, you can speak English to it too, and it can, or you can't hear the other person speaking so well, it can actually handle that too. So you don't have to choose from one of the 44 languages that can translate back to English for you. You can actually use it in English. A little pro tip there. So there you go. For $9.99, it's pretty much everything you wanted in PC. Tablet, potential laptop, all that sort of thing. Remember, keyboard and pen are sold separately though, so keep that in mind for the pricing. And now back to our video. Of course, you have that lovely OLED display, 2880 by 1800 resolution, so you got your nice tall aspect ratio going on there, and it's what I call a real time waster display because it looks so good you just want to kick back and watch movies all the time. And better yet, of course, obviously it's a 360-degree convertible with a touchscreen, but it comes with an S Pen. It's a full-size S Pen. There's no silo for it anywhere, but there's no way you could fit a pen that big inside the body of a laptop typically, and I'll take that because I figure you might be using this for long-form notes and all that sort of thing. So 16 inches is, well, great for watching movies, but also for those of you who are artists and you want a bigger canvas to work with than the average tablet, that's nice. That said, this doesn't typically replace a tablet because it is a very big footprint device. You turn this into tablet mode and you hold it, and it's not like holding something like a Microsoft Surface Pro, which is more portable to carry around. So different kind of machine, if you get my drift there. But if you're looking for something that is your main laptop, big screen, big keyboard, all that sort of thing, then that's for you. So what about that performance I was talking about? Well, you know, it's a little bit faster than the previous generation, but that's not what it's here for. Intel was focusing on being more competitive when it comes to battery life and thermals too. And Galaxy Books, I've always loved them, and when they've switched to the AMOLED or OLED displays, you know, that was an improvement, but those are not the most battery efficient displays, especially when you're talking a big 16-inch high resolution display. So the fact that this thing can run like over 18, 19 hours streaming YouTube videos at 250 nits is a huge improvement. And also the fact that you can do 10 to 14 hours of productivity work, and it depends, again, you know, if you're like editing Premiere Pro or doing Photoshop, you're going to hit more battery than using Microsoft Word or something like that. That's why that range exists. So you can tailor that to the stuff that you actually do, but that's full workday or full school day battery life. So I would say I'm okay with the not huge performance gains here, because I think most people really care about battery life more than their Ultrabook or slim and light laptop not being powerful enough, because honest to God, this might not impress you as a generational jump, but just think about it. 3 years ago, you know, this is as fast as a gaming laptop from a few years ago. They are actually quite fast, and they are up to most any task you can throw at them. Also, the NPU is supposed to be a bit more powerful, 47 tops there, for those of you who are starting to get into the AI stuff, Copilot PC and all of that. Now, when it comes to ports, despite the fact it's slim and light, you actually get useful ports. You have HDMI 2.1. You have a USB-A port. Yay, so-called legacy ports that we all still actually use. 2 Thunderbolt 4/USB-C ports, one of them which will be used with the included charger. And a micro SD card slot too. So for those of you who are content creators, or maybe you have a phone with a micro SD card slot still and you want to transfer stuff, that's nice. Speaking of phones, it's a Samsung laptop. So they always have apps that will let you connect to your Samsung Galaxy phone if you happen to have that, and some that mirror the functionality. In fact, the Samsung Settings app looks just like the Android settings screen. So, you know, Apple's kind of doing the same thing with Mac OS, looking a lot like the iOS settings screen, but it's a sense of continuity for the brand. And of course, they would love for you to buy both one of their phones and one of their laptops. When it comes to the S Pen, it is Wacom EMR technology, great pressure sensitivity, lovely pressure curves. It's nice. It is a glossy display, so the pen, you know, skates a little bit more than if you're buying a Wacom Cintiq with an etched glass display or something like that, but it's still one of my favorites for actually doing artwork on this. And obviously you can use it for note-taking too, if you don't find it too large for such a thing. Speakers on this, quad stereo speakers, 2 5-watt woofers, 2 3.3-watt tweeters, and it sounds good, which is good, befitting a multimedia device that you can enjoy all sorts of content on. The keyboard is typical Samsung, which is a really low travel white backlit. It is tactile though, so you do feel the keys clicking. It's not like typing on a piece of hardwood or something like that, at least, but I do prefer a little more key travel. The trackpad is ungodly huge. Why? Why are manufacturers doing this? I really don't know. You have hardly any place to rest your hands anymore because the trackpad is bigger than the state of New Hampshire. There, it is. If you like big trackpads, you'll be thrilled with it, right? Other goodies, Wi-Fi 7, BE201 chipset from Intel, Bluetooth 5.4, and a fingerprint scanner embedded in the power button. No Windows Hello Camera here. Samsung believes in, I guess, greater security. Fingerprint scanner is more secure than your typical Windows facial recognition kind of system. And you get a 2-megapixel webcam as well. So that's a Galaxy Book 5 Pro 360 for late 2024. The latest Intel inside. A super display on board, great speakers, good for multimedia, enough horsepower to do pretty much anything that you need in terms of, well, everyday normal performance. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more cool content, and thumbs up if you like this vid.